This amp, man, it's just an absolute beast. But is it the best amp that I have ever owned? Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to the channel then it is awesome to have you join us today. Check it out, yeah, 5150III, yeah. This is the 50 watt version and I have had it for a while. I've actually played it on my channel and you probably didn't even realize, and I absolutely adore this amplifier. And today we're going to find out whether this is actually the best amp that I ever owned. Now, if you're a regular on my channel, then you already know that I do like my EVH gear. I'll show you some pictures. And this amp has been around for a good few years, but my journey with the 5150III only started a couple of years ago when I checked out amp box software by my friends over at Mercurial. First amp that I bought was their version of the 5150III Stealth, and it kind of scrambled my brain. Yeah, because up until then I had avoided the 5150 as it had been kind of commandeered by the metal guitarists, and I do hard rock, so I figured it's just too high gain for me. Then I played the software and I was like, holy mother of God, this is absolutely insane. I get it now. You see, the whole thing that I didn't factor into the whole 5150III equation was Eddie. And that was a huge mistake on my part. That's totally on me. I should have known. Look, if Eddie could make it sound the way that he did, then of course it's a hard rock amp. Doesn't matter that it has enough gain to make even Satan crap his pants, right? But anywho, I had finally discovered it, and so it was time to go shopping, right? Because that's what you do. Come on. The first EVH amp I bought was my 5150III LBX-S, the lunchbox version of the Stealth, and that amp is absolutely insane as well. I have used it for recording and live. It just sounds amazing. Then some months down the line, my very good friend Dan Lovett Horn got himself a Stealth 100 watt. Now, Dan and I have this thing where when he buys something, I kind of think, hey, I need one of those, and vice versa. It's probably not a healthy thing. You probably have a friend like that, right? Let me know in the comment section. So I started looking for an amp, but the 50 watt version, because then it would fit into my shelving unit down here. And besides, I had the Lunchbox Stealth, so I figured I would go for the regular 6L6 flavored one for a little bit of variety. This pre-owned one came up one day for a really good price, and after a quick phone call to the store, an even better deal was made, and I was the proud owner of this mighty amp. If you dig gear like the EVH 5150III, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and click the bell as well, as I will have more videos about amazing gear coming up and I don't want you to miss them. Alrighty, headlines. 3 channels: green for clean, blue for badass rhythm, and red for ridiculous leads. 50 watts, 6L6 tubes in the power section. It has about 700 preamp tubes in it. This is the Mark II version with the concentric pots for the gain and volume on the green and the blue channels as well. Now, the chances are that you have heard many people talking about this amp for years and years, and have checked out a fair few YouTube videos as well. So today, rather than tell you about all the tones and the specs and etc, again for the 100th time, I'm going to tell you why I think this might just be the very best amp that I have ever owned. You see, Eddie was a total genius and a bit of a mad scientist as well. So when he designed a piece of gear, and then dialed it in, he did it to the nth degree. That point where as soon as you plug in, the tone is just perfection. And that's what this amp represents to me. Let me explain. Often when I plug into an amp, there's a little bit of tweaking to do in order to get it to sit just right in the mix, whether it's with a band or in a recording. This amp though, it is just made for the mix. It seems to be so optimized that every single frequency just sits right. For example, the low end. Look at the dial on my amp. The lows are at like 7 or 8. I never do that on an amp. It's usually around 4 or 5, you know, on the dial. But this one, the 5153, well, the low end just sits beautifully in the mix. It plays so nice with the bass guitar and the kick drum. How? It's just like voodoo, man. Seriously, even with the resonance control rolled up, it stays tight and focused and fits so perfectly in everything I play. In fact, when I turn the bass down, it starts to thin out in this weird way, which I don't like. I like the bass up there. Then there is the amount of gain, more than anybody would ever need. Why so much gain then? Well, then you can play the amp straight in rather than boosting it with an overdrive pedal. In fact, I don't even think this amp needs an SD1 or a TS808 or anything like that to do any boosting or tightening the low end thing. It just works straight out of the box. It's often mentioned that the red channel is too compressed, but for a lead tone, every note just pops out. It's compressed for a reason, and it makes perfect sense. When you're in the studio or playing live, the greatest scenario is when gear is just working and not fighting back one bit. It allows you to be in that creative flow and just enjoy playing. Eddie created an amp he could take into the studio or stage and then just forget about, so that he could be in the moment and not have to think about, oh, when do I need to switch on the boost pedal? It allowed him to get lost in his playing, which is what he did best, right? And it allows us to do that as well. I mean, who wouldn't want an amp that does that? I love the clean channel. It is chimey and has bite. I love the blue channel because it can do that classic rock tone so well, but without having to fight the amp. And I love the red channel because now I understand just how the compression is mix ready. It is for rhythms and solos, by the way. Yeah, it works so well. For how I play, record and think, this one just works. Yep, I really do adore this amp. And for me, I think it is the best amp that I own right now. I love my other tube amps as well. I have a fair few now that I have collected over the years, like my custom Plexi. That's one that I built myself. That is my vintage Van Halen tone. My custom SLO30 down here, that Soldano thing, is so crazy good. I love it. And my cool Marvel Deluxe with its built-in extra gain stage and Variac switch. I mean, that's like the dream Marshall style amp right there. And this, well, this just takes my breath away. It really does. Is it perfect? Well, no. There is one thing that irks me about this amp: the on-off switch and the standby switch on the back panel. Why? I mean, why? But as I build and modify amps, I have a plan already, and I will be making one change that will make it much more practical for me. But that's a story for another day. I would love to know what your best amp is, so leave a comment and let me know, as I genuinely love to geek out on this stuff. Alrighty folks, if you enjoyed this one, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, hype and comment, and share the video with your fellow gear nerds too. We're a family after all, right? Time for the track. Now, I didn't go all Van Halen style with this one. I just did my own thing. The EVH 5150III made it really easy for me to play and record, and the track was done in the shake of lamb's tail. Seriously, it was. Days like this are just absolutely wonderful. Enjoy listening and have a totally amazing day. I'm gonna go play this some more. Yeah, bye for now.